Good afternoon, YouTube world. Steve, DuRag Steve. This video is powered by XLP Distribution. Visit xlpdistribution.com. All artists, upcoming artists, artists that want a distribution that's going to give you personal care and personal needs to all of your musical ventures. I just had to shout out my man Donald XL Robinson. He's a good dude. He's a very intelligent dude, and we all about independence, and we're all about giving artists partnerships and their own creativity, unlike in today's music. But that's another story. You know, it's DuRag Steve. I'm outside enjoying this sun. Today is a beautiful day out here, and you know, sometimes you just got to meditate, and you'll hear the birds as I'm talking and get back close to nature. Like I said, that's why I love being outside. Today we're gonna speak a devotion. I'm gonna take over that too. It's from Matthew. We're gonna get right into it. It's from Matthew 6:11. Give us today our daily bread. I'm gonna say it one more time for y'all. Give us today our daily bread. We're in some times, y'all, and all of this is going on Black History Month, but it's really Black History Year. The president is trying to take away, the history. That's what's going on, y'all. Trying to take away all the things that our ancestors and our leaders have fought for us to have rights in the United States. And the reason why we want these rights and wanted to give these rights is because we were brought here, our ancestors, unwillingly. We were stripped of everything. Y'all know the history, y'all know the backstory. We were stripped of our culture, we were stripped of our language, we were stripped of our religion, we were stripped of our manhood, womanhood, you name it. Everything diabolically was done to us. So I'll do a future video on that, but today I want to stick to the subject and stay in my deen, as they say, and stay spiritual. And I'm gonna say it again, Matthew 6:11, give us today our daily bread. So the scripture comes from when Moses took his people out of Egypt and away from Pharaoh. Pharaoh had enslaved the Israelites for 400 years. And he took them out, and now they're in another land with none of the necessities that they once had when they were in Egypt. So of course, going through this, and I would compare it to like fasting, these people started complaining and they couldn't understand where's the food, where we're gonna get water. All these things started getting into their head. So the faith started leaving, and what they missed and forgot, that they were slaves and that they were controlled and that they were only given what Pharaoh wanted them to have. Now all of a sudden you have freedom. You don't have no one no longer controlling you. So now you in that transition, and now because of your faith, they don't know where the next meal or where the next water or anything, clothing, all of the necessities that we in this world think we need. And not to say we don't need it, but now they're wondering where they're going to get it from. You get it from God. That's where you get it from. God powers us like a battery, like a charge. We forget because we're so comfortable and we're so used to having all these necessities and all these things, like seeing, like hearing, like waking up, like talking, like being able to move, being able to think, all of these different things. So now we take it for granted and we don't know what's next or what's going to be done. God is the source. We are the temple. He puts his light into us. The sun, as it reflects and gives us light, we take the energy back. It's the same thing. We forget where our energy source is. It is from God. He gives us provision. He gives us thought. He gives us decision. He gives us choices. But we have to make the right choice. So again, within that Matthew 6 is also the Lord's Prayer. Need to memorize it. Need to know it. Because, and I still need to, and I'm going to say it and admit myself, I still need to memorize it and know it. But he will never leave us and never forsake us. God will never leave us and never forsake us. So in this time that we have now, we really have to get back to him and meditate and know that man, I want y'all to hear this, man or anybody that's quote unquote the leader, the president, Congress, world leaders, anything, it can seem like they control, it can seem like they can make all these changes and make decisions, but God is the one that's gonna rule all. Trust and believe. So sometimes we get afraid, sometimes fear, sometimes we look at things being done and we think that it's going to be the end, or we're not going to be able to have rights, liberties, or any of these things. Again, and I said this in the last video, it's all temporary. What won't kill you will make you stronger. Adversity shows true character, good and bad. And what you have to understand and know is the more you endure, the more you get through the struggle, you will come out of it much stronger, much wiser, and know and make the right choices to do what's going to not only be best for you, but it's going to be best if you have a family or your children. So what we need to do now is really pay attention to all these things that are going on, and don't look at everything at face value. Look at things in a spiritual mind and look at things on how everything is going to play out. It's going to play out to our favor. But what you have to do, and this is the two things I would say. One, you have to have faith. Two, you have to be disciplined. Three, you have to have patience. And four, you have to know that it's all temporary. We all going to get through this. But we do have to come together as one. And once you do that, then God is going to bless all of us. And that's the one thing that I want y'all to understand. You can look throughout history, you can look throughout events that have happened, and when things look like it was done or it was looking bleak, all of a sudden something happens, and that's God. I want y'all to understand this, that makes everything right and makes everything better, and you come out of darkness back into the light. But you have to stay strong in your faith. You got to connect to the power of God, because if you don't and you rely on your own power, you're gonna drain yourself. You're not going to last, and then you fall into all the trappings and the negative trappings that this world and what evil presents, and you go and get pulled right in. Some of the things I may have said may be understood or may not be understood, but just know to keep your eyes open and pay attention. Don't let any of these distractions that's going on make you think that this, whatever decisions are being made, is going to be quote unquote forever. There are two sides to this. You have Democrats, you have Republicans. They're both gangs, to be honest with you, because each side want their way. So now, instead of looking at what is right for the people, it's self-serving. It's what's right for them. And that's what's going on. They're looking at what's right for them. They're going to satisfy certain classes, and that's what it is, but they're looking at what's right for them. So that's why in a video I did, New Year resolution, do you. You have to take care of yourself first. I'll use an analogy I used in a video way back. When the oxygen mask come down, who do you put it on? You put it on yourself first. Because if you don't save yourself or give yourself life, you're not going to be able to give others a breath of life. So going back to scripture, give us today our daily bread. It's the bread of God. It's the bread of Jesus. It's the bread. It is the bread of life. God teaches us to depend on Him. When we depend on Him and not depend on life, meaning the things that are not good in this life, or even the things that are, we have to know that God each and every day is giving us the ability to provide for our own. What happens is we allow our faith to waver, and we forget that in order to stay connected and to know and not depend on our own power, we have to depend on God as our source. His power is our provision. And when we fully understand that, no matter what we go through, as long as we keep reminding ourselves that God's going to have us, as it also says in scripture, the birds fly and they don't worry about the next meal or what they're going to have to eat. God provides for birds. God provides for every living thing on this earth. Do you really think He's not going to provide for us, His creation? Always remind yourself of that, even in your bleakest moments. I'm sure you can think about any of you, any times that it was a struggle or tough or whatever you was going through. Something always came through for you to be able to not only survive, but live another day. So that's it, y'all. I just wanted to hopefully give you some motivation, give you some inspiration, give you some encouragement, but most importantly, just remind you, don't allow any of these distractions of the administration and President Trump to distract you from who you are and who's your source. And as long as you stay connected to God, you will be fine. You will be fine. And as you read scripture, the Israelites was fine once they left Egypt, and they were able to live, and this is the last important thing, they were free and live in freedom. It may seem like our freedoms and liberties are taken away, but it's all temporary. Nothing is never going to be permanent. And I want y'all to, this is the last thing I'm going to say. Nothing, and you can look throughout history, nothing ever stays permanent that is evil and wrong. Again, nothing stays permanent that is evil and wrong. I've been outside. I've seen a lot of people get killed, get taken out, go to prison, all the different things because they didn't make good choices or they made the wrong choices to be put in that position, to be put in that situation. So understand and believe. And this is what I'm going to leave you last with. As long as you're doing what's right, that is eternal. You're going to be fine. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's going to be easy, that it's going to be, everything's going to be smooth sailing. There's going to be turbulence. It's going to be storms. It's going to be all of that. But that's why you have to connect and have your power and your provision in God. Not in yourself, but in God. Because when you have those moments, Scripture and the things that you need to hold on to and to have faith in is going to lead you on the right path. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you watched the whole video, I hope this spoke to someone. I hope it resonates with you all. But just understand and know, DuRag Steve is always going to give you the truth. It's going to be the truth in how he interprets it in his way. But you can understand and know, if you have energy and you connect with spirits and you connect with God, and that's who I connect with. I understand now. And that's why my life has been good and I'm blessed. Gratitude each and every day. Always speak gratitude each and every day when you get up in the morning. That's another jewel. That's another tip for you all. Gratitude. Thank you very much. Please watch the videos. Watch me. I'm outside navigating through this life, checking out everything, seeing what's what. I'm going to speak what's right. I'm going to speak as much as I can what's right, because I know for sure there are a lot of people out here, and I know even in the YouTube world, that just need someone to give them hope, give them faith, give them inspiration. And if I can do that, I've done my purpose in God's work. I truly believe and feel that. And that's coming not only from me, DuRag Steve, that's coming from Steve Billionaire, and that's also coming from the Old Man Walk series, which is all me in one. But I break down these different characters because they each have different experiences and different wisdom and different circumstances within this thing called life that can be broken down and spoken to different people in different levels of life. From a person that's a homeless person, hopefully all the way to a person that's the wealthiest. Because we all, at the end of the day, are human beings. And what we have to understand is we all need to come together as one. DuRag Steve, thank you very much for watching the video. Watch all videos. Please watch them. My watch hours is going up. Please subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And y'all take care. Peace out.